So the call is officially recording, and I'm going to connect to our Facebook Live as well. And it seems like I cannot do that while I'm sharing my screen, so give me just a minute. Oh, lots of new people. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. We're just getting connected
Morning.
to Facebook, so it will be just a couple minutes and we will get started. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for joining this morning, and very good morning. Good to see some new faces. My name is Dia Ghosh with the Ada Jobs Foundation. And while I go through the logistics and kind of do a welcome, if you guys can see on the prompt, if you want to type in your name, if you're with a business or an organization. And today's question, our prompt today is, what is one business or technology you would really like to see start in Ada, or as a matter of fact, anywhere? So let's get started with that. So the Community Entrepreneurship Hour is a free monthly event, and this was really inspired by a program that the Kaufman Foundation has been doing called the One. Um, we have more people coming in. So the goal of this event is really to provide a platform for our entrepreneurship community, for our local entrepreneurs to pitch their new ideas or talk about their new business and get community feedback, and as well as for the community of inspiring entrepreneurs, marketing people, finance people, investors to see these startups and get some feedback from them, get inspired, and really know what's going on in the entrepreneurship community. So today we have two speakers, two really awesome speakers, as a matter of fact, and I'm really excited. And how this is going to go is they're going to present for about 10-12 minutes, and then we will open it up to Q&A. And we really encourage you to engage in productive conversation and ask them questions and provide feedback. I think everybody is a Zoom expert by now, but please remain muted while the presentations are on so we do not disturb. And you really want to stick around till the end because one, we have a Arbuckle coffee gift card giveaway. So we'll be doing a little quiz, and whoever gets the answer right on the chat will get an Arbuckle coffee card gift card. And we also have a special announcement, which I'm really excited to share with you all. So please stick around. So with that, I am going to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker today is Phyllis Gore. She's the founder of Phyllis Scratch Kitchen. Founded earlier this year in 2020, Phyllis Scratch Kitchen is a local restaurant that offers unique food for the food adventurer. Their menu features dishes assembled from the freshest ingredients with the mission to bring forth bold and inspiring flavors. Phyllis offers diverse menus including Latin, Asian, and soul food cuisine on different days of the week, in addition to their famous weekend brunch. So with that, Phyllis, please, we welcome you, and please feel free to share your screen.
Thank you. Let me get my screen shared here. Good morning, everybody. So, okay, let's see. Of course, she just told you all, I'm Phyllis Gore with Phyllis Scratch Kitchen, and I'm just gonna go right into my presentation. Let me do that. Oh, back. Okay. So a little bit about me. A lot of people ask this question when they come into the restaurant. because of the type of food that we do here. They think, wow, where are you from? Because the cuisine is so different. But I'm actually from Ada, Oklahoma, born and raised here. I went to Being High School, graduated a pirate, and after I got out of high school, I worked a little while and just kind of felt like that wasn't what I was going to, wanted to do with my life. So I went to the military. I was in the military for 7 years. I did everything from truck driving. I did finances. I did military pay. I did one tour, and I loved it. But while I was in the military, I also went to college. I went to UCO. I graduated at UCO with a degree in criminal justice and a minor in sociology. I worked at numerous prisons here in Oklahoma as a correctional case manager. I did probation and parole for Department of Corrections for a while. I've done a lot of things in law enforcement. But I always felt like that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I did it because I'm an adventure junkie, and not just with food, but with everything in life. I'm just a big adventure junkie. So I always wanted to have some kind of adventure going on. But the most adventurous thing that I always do is play with food. And that's even prior to becoming a chef. I always loved food. I had a love of food since I was a child. I always cooked with my father. And so being a chef, just finally deciding to go ahead and get the little cute hat that you all see here was like my real passion in life. So I ended up going to culinary school this past year and just becoming a chef. Few fun facts about me. I lived in Mexico for a while, so I am bilingual. I fluent Spanish, and so I hardly get to use it anymore. I used it a lot in my career in the military and in corrections quite a bit. I do a lot of volunteer work interpreting for the court system and different things like that. Recently, before I opened this restaurant, I worked at the health department as a wellness coordinator, and I also interpreted there at the health department a lot, so I got to use it just a little bit. But the best thing about me is that I do enjoy pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. So, so what we think the problem is with Ada and with this community with food-wise, is that there's limited food diversity here, meaning there are different ethnic groups that are in Ada, Oklahoma, but they're not represented with their style of food or their types of food. Like you may see Koreans here in Ada, Oklahoma, but you don't have a Korean restaurant. You may see Native Indian people here, but you don't have an Indian restaurant. You don't have a Thai restaurant. There's a lot of things that the diversity in food is limited here, and that's something that I wanted to bring. And then the available food supply. That right there is a big thing for me because I am so diverse in my menu. I can't go to any store here and find a daikon radish. I can't find a dragon fruit anywhere or jackfruit. I think all these have maybe had jackfruit, maybe one or two times. But the available food supply is just the most common types of food here. And so my solution to all of this is to provide a diverse menu. I've traveled a lot in my military career and just in personal travels, and I am completely just entangled in diversity in food. There's not, everybody asks all the time, what type of food do you do, or what's your menu? And each day there's a new themed menu here at our restaurant. We may do a Peruvian dish one day, we may do Thai food one day, we may do Indian food, we really try, in Korean, it just depends on the day, but most days we try to bring diversity in because there's a lot of people that come to eat and they look at the menu and they're like, oh, I never had any of this before, or what does this taste like? And I really love that because that goes down to my last bullet, that food education. It's not so much educating people about food, it's actually introducing them to new foods and new ideas and things that are not common in this area. Another thing that we are trying to work on is providing vegan and vegetarian options daily. And I usually do that on the menu. We have a plethora of items that we can provide that are vegan and vegetarian. When I first moved back to Ada, I was vegan and I didn't have the options to go to a restaurant and say, you know what, I don't want the chicken sandwich, but can you give me the chickenless sandwich, which would be a vegan option of that. But you know, it's hard to find those things here. And a lot of people are changing their diet to veganism or vegetarianism. And so we try to provide those options daily. We also use a variety of ingredients, fruits, vegetables, not commonly found in this area. Like I say, I go to Oklahoma City a lot for shopping for the restaurant, and I get items that are not, that I can't get here. And I do that purposefully because I do want to introduce a new way of presenting food and a new way of eating food to this area. I just love vegetables, so I like to share that with people. So when they come in, they're like, I've never had eggplant cooked this way, you know? And so it's not common for you to find eggplant on a menu at a restaurant here in town. So we try to do things like that. We encourage people sometimes come in and they know, they've heard that the food is really great, but they don't know what they want to eat because they're not used to any other food. So that I encourage them, hey, just try something. So a lot of people just say, surprise me. And they are thoroughly surprised whenever they try something new. And I really like that about what we're trying to do in the area. Our business model is, right now, we have a storefront. It's really small. We have 6 tables here. With the pandemic and everything going on, the health department allows us to have 3 of our 6 tables open because we have to keep, you know, everyone 6 feet apart. But we are open 3 to 5 days a week. Right now, we're striving for the 5 days a week at all time, but that just depends on our deliveries and things that, if we are able to get deliveries and different things like that. The pandemic kind of, it's really hard. I opened this business on May 23rd and right in the midst of everything. And so getting deliveries and getting what we need to run operationally the way that we want to 5 days a week is sometimes hard. We do a catering. We've been asked to cater several different things in town, and some private parties. And I also am a personal chef. I've only went to a couple of homes here in town and did some personal chef cooking for some families, which is really fun because I like to get the kids involved when I'm there, and everybody's cooking and they actually see that cooking vegetables and things as good is not that hard. It's pretty easy. So that's our business model right now. We just want to strive to stay open the 5 days a week right now, but with the pandemic, it's kind of hard. And our marketing strategy, this is a big thing. I'm not a big tech person. I'm not tech savvy. So marketing is really one of the things that I struggle with here with a restaurant and being a new business. Right now, our focus is on word of mouth. People have come to eat at the restaurant and they, you know, tell someone else. However, social media sharing has been a blessing for us because people, when they come in to eat, they'll take a picture of their food and they'll share it or they'll post it, and then their friends will see it and their friends will see it. So social media has really helped us out a lot here. And just the community being curious as to a new place being in town. We're the new kid on the block and everyone's always curious about the new kid on the block. So marketing is not really our strong point right now, but we are happy for what we have now for people sharing and the word of mouth and everything like that. And then this picture of me and my team, like I say, it's myself, my big brother Gary, and my aunt Sarah. We are the 3 that run the restaurant every day. I am in the future looking to find funding and grants, maybe to get some more equipment in here. We work in a very limited space, but we do what we can. We try to rock out in here every day. I would like to hire more staff. That's going to come with time. Right now, like I say, we're 3 people, so staffing is a big big need that we're going to look for in the future. And then we would like to secure a bigger space. We have gotten an overwhelming response from a lot of customers, like, that will wait outside, or, in their cars or things like that, so that they can get their food, because we just don't have the space in here to accommodate everyone with the pandemic going. So looking forward, those are the kind of things that we are focused on. And right now, I thank you all very much. This is my contact information on Facebook. We're just Philly's Scratch Kitchen. We have a page. You're more than welcome to jump on there and take a look if you haven't seen any of the things that we do. And I'm available for any questions.
Awesome, thank you. Can we have a round of applause for Phyllis, please?
I like that.
Awesome. Okay, we are into Q&A, so please try, you can shout it out since we don't have a lot of people. I mean, we don't have hundreds of people, so you can shout it out or put it in the chat, either way. Maybe I can kick it off with one. Phyllis, what is the most popular dish on your menu so far?
Ooh, so far. There's a couple of things. It's the slap your mama chicken and waffles. I've had people come in and say, I have never, ever, ever, even all their travels had chicken and waffles this good. Or, the mahi mahi tacos, because you can't get that here. So those two things right there are like our best sellers right now.
Perfect.
Can I ask?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Anna.
So how did you study to be a chef?
I was just happened to one day say, you know what, I love cooking. I just want to cook. And so I went online and I searched for culinary schools. And I wanted to go to one of the top rated schools because, for one, I thought I knew everything about cooking and food, but I didn't. Once I got into culinary school, I learned the science and everything about it. And so that was the part that intrigued me, was learning this. I wanted to learn the science about food, and I wanted to learn, everything that I thought I knew, I didn't know. So I just did research, and I started going through the schools and looking at, see which ones were the top rated, which ones were the best ones, and just kind of following up with anybody that I knew that had gone to this school before. And that's how I picked my culinary school. I went to Escoffier. I don't know if I said that earlier, but it's a French culinary school. Their main focus is on French cuisine.
Shout out a few of the questions from the chat. First, from Jim is, how has the pandemic changed your use of technology, whether that's online marketing or online ordering? How has that changed?
Fortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, fortunately, we came in at a time to where the pandemic was already happening. And so technology, we started out with using technology as our friend. Nothing has changed with technology. We were very fortunate that we do have a drive-through. So when we very first opened, we could not have people dine in and things like that. So we had our drive-through, but the technology has been great because with the company that I use for my POS system, they have an online ordering system, and that has made it great. I didn't have to outsource to what is the delivery companies? DoorDash and different things like that. I could for delivery, but this system that I have is an all-encompass system. So I didn't really have to change anything for technology-wise. We just started off using it because we started in this pandemic. So it was pretty easy.
And we had another comment from the other Jim on the call, is that a lot of people aren't on social media. What is your strategy for reaching out to them?
Google, everyone Googles everything. If you're not on social media, if you want to know something, everybody's in Google. We're set up on Google. If maybe someone has heard of us that's not on social media, they'll say, you know what, I want to see if this Philly's Scratch Kitchen is open today, or where's it located. We are on Google, we are on Bing, we're on Yelp. You can find us on a lot of other platforms just besides social media as well.
Perfect. Let's see, Trevor had a question about, do you do custom orders? Basically, he's trying to ask if he can order food without vegetables, which Trevor, you should.
without vegetable. You can. I tell a lot of people because I want to accommodate people in the area the best I can. So whenever you pull up my menu from our website, it'll basically tell you everything that we have and what's in each item. However, I always encourage people to call the shop, because if there's something that you can't eat or something that you are allergic to or just doesn't fit into your dietary needs, if I am able to accommodate that, I will definitely do it for people. But I won't know unless you call in and ask us, or maybe put a note down there, because when you order, you can always leave a note for the chef, and so we'll look at those notes, and if it's something we can do, we'll definitely do it. But if we can, I'll call you right then and say, hey, I just got your order, I actually can do this, or I can't do this, or so yes, accommodating people and their dietary needs is definitely a thing that we try to do here.
Perfect. More questions? We have a few more minutes.
I have one, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Claudia.
Okay. Hey, Phyllis, love the idea. Scratch Kitchen looks pretty cool. I have to go try it. I'm reading some of the stuff on your website right now, and there's Latin love. Big fan of Latin food. So I may come by today.
Yeah,
And
come on by.
Dope. Is there a way that I can look at menus for the rest of the days, or is it set? Like, is Latin love always Wednesdays?
Well, this is because we change our menu daily, we don't have a full week menu. What I do is every morning at 8 o'clock, it'll switch to the next menu. So it will only show what we're going to have for that day. And like I said, with the way that COVID is and our deliveries, if we run out of something for the day, I will take that off the menu. So everything that you see on that menu link is up to date of what we have at the moment. So unfortunately, I don't post a full week's menu because it depends, like I say, on our deliveries each day. So you just check every day to see what we have here.
Okay, cool. And I'm assuming that's something that's also, yeah, that answered it. That's something that's probably posted on social media as well. Like, hey, come swing by today. This is what we're having, stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes if I have time, I usually will take a, post something about what we have for the day. I sometimes just take pictures throughout the day, depending on time and what we have. Like I say, it's 3 of us here running it, and sometimes we get really, really busy and really slammed, and prep work is really tough in the morning. So I really bank on people checking that menu link to see what we have, but I should be better at posting it in the morning. And I try, and we just get really busy.
Understandable. Do your thing. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I think we had a comment question earlier from Callie regarding if you're looking at meal prepping, and I know we had a short conversation about that. So do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yes, meal prepping is my passion. I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, this is like maybe month 3 in starting this restaurant, and it's something that I want to incorporate. I just can't do it yet with 3 people here. I need more staff to do the meal prepping plus the daily menu, and to have everything that I need delivery wise it's just not happening right now, because I'm not getting everything delivery wise for the restaurant on the daily operation. So meal prepping would be I wouldn't be able to promise that I could do it just yet. I'm just praying that this pandemic clears up and things kind of go back to normal somewhat, so we can have everything that we need. But I'm unfortunately unable to do the meal prepping at the moment.
We have a question from Kyle. Have you taken part in any of the small business programs? And Kyle, do you mean the loan programs or?
I'll kind of elaborate on that. I would really, what I'm looking for is, maybe out of this conversation with everyone, is to hopefully be connected to people that know about small business programs, to know about resources for small businesses during the pandemic. I unfortunately don't have a lot of knowledge in that area, and so I have not taken part in any programs. My husband and I started this restaurant with our own resources and our own funding. We didn't reach out to to any grants or programs or anything like that in the beginning. But now that we're kind of in the midst of everything, it would really be nice to know about any programs or resources that are available to small businesses.
And I'll just give a shout out to something Jim Lawson mentioned earlier in the chat, that we have a business improvement grant that is for businesses to help with anything in their location. So if you need more information about that, we would love to help.
Let me write that down. And I'll
You
definitely
read my mind, because that's what I was just texting. So yeah, the big grant would be really helpful to you. Ask Callie, she's a recipient, and it's a matching grant. So and it's all about business expansion and business improvement and business, anything you can imagine. So
is it a running grant throughout the year? Is there a deadline on applying for that?
We've currently reached the end of our fiscal year, but it will start again in July. Jim Lawson and Main Street can verify this, but I believe it'll be kicked out again by about September. Late August or September, that money will be available again.
Yeah, this is Jim Lawson.
Write that down.
Yeah, this is Jim Lawson, and so the big grant, we'll have three rounds of activity through the year, and so we'll do $25,000 per round, $5,000 maximum per business, and so we'll have that application out there. You can look for it to show up on the Ada Main Street website in the very near future. And like Amy said, we'll probably look at September as being our kickoff. Normally we'll have about 3 to 4 weeks for people to apply. We'll have 3 or 4 weeks that we will analyze the information, and then you'll have 6 months to complete your project. It's a matching grant. You pay for it, you do it all, you turn in your receipts, and once you were selected in the beginning, then when you turn your receipts in, we'll half and half match you.
Oh, that is a great grant. I am definitely going to be on the lookout for that. I've made my note here to the side, and I'm going to put a reminder in my calendar to start looking for that around September.
Awesome.
So thank you. Thank you for that info.
Conversations there, and we would love for this to follow up. In my follow-up email, I will add everyone's email on there. Last question to wrap up. What do you see the entrepreneurship community, this people right here, even in Ada and outside, how can they help you to grow your business?
I thought about that quite a while, and really, like we were talking about some deficits, like some areas that we are not really strong in right now, being a new business and things that we can't do. So the need for maybe an intern or a volunteer to manage our social media, or to help with marketing. I don't know if maybe like a student from East Central or somewhere is looking for internships, but definitely that, some intern and maybe more collaboration with businesses in the community for catering opportunities. That right there would be nice. I know people, it's always, people come in, they eat, they share, word of mouth and all that is great, but there are some areas that we are lacking in. So those two things would be really helpful.
That's awesome. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Phyllis.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Marissa, did you have something? Sorry.
Yeah, real quick. I know that Phyllis, you're really busy and I've been meaning to come by there, but I know that I really just wanted to shoot you an email and just kind of give you our information and schedule a time with you, because I know that you have a full-time job with food, and I think it's great. And hearing you talk about vegan and vegetarian options is really exciting for me personally. But for Ada Main Street, that's something that we could do as a partnership, is that we can help you get into the community. I can help you with your social media blast. I can help you do all those things and help you find those internships from the high school, from the college, from all of that. But I'll send you over an email or something, and we can talk about it.
Yes, thank you.
I loved hearing that you have vegan options, because I looked at your site so many times. I'm like, I love jackfruit. I love all this stuff. I just saw a lot of meat, so I just assumed that it couldn't be done, and that's on me. But
yes, yeah, and
going to lunch
usually
today.
like I say, yeah, I have the pecan and walnut meat tacos today for the vegan vegetarian option. We also I'm not sure about our order yet because I hadn't had time to check it, but usually we do like an eggplant spinach quesadilla today. I'm going to check our order, but what we have on the website, but we do have a vegan vegetarian option today. I really strive on that. I really, really, really do every day. So just check every day. And if it's something you see, be like, call us and say, hey, do you have anything you can sub for this? If it's, you know, an all meat type of day, or it just looks like there's not an option for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Phyllis.
You're welcome. All right.
Hey, Phyllis, before you go, this is Kelby Owens with REO Oklahoma. On a side note, we have a women's business center that I think will be of great help to you with some specific training for small business owners. But where your social media is concerned, there's a tool called Hootsuite that helps people with limited staffing manage their social media accounts.
Okay.
And so after we're done here, I want to follow up with an email. I'd love to get on a side call with you soon and talk specifically about that, being able to help you manage your social media account, even though you can't be at the computer or on the phone 24/7.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, specifically when you're able to schedule the menu out, it would be great to upload that where it could be posting for you every day. So we'll talk about that soon. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kelby. Appreciate that. Okay, I am really excited to introduce our second speaker. Callie Christian is a mom of 5 kids, wife to Zach Christian, pastor of H2O Church, and owner of Ignite Fitness Studio. Ignite Fitness is a locally owned and operated intimate fitness boutique that strives to provide a unique and personal fitness experience for all people of all fitness levels. Their mission is to provide energized, instructor-led classes that aim to ignite the mind, body, and soul. So thank you, Callie, for being here, and welcome.
Hey, thank you. Phyllis, you're so impressive. I don't know if you're still on here, but the whole thing, like the presentation, I don't have that, so it's just me. So I guess I'll start with my startup journey, and I guess the problem, or what I feel like I'm helping, what solution I'm bringing to our community. First of all, the problem was within myself. I was 3 kids in and miserable. I loved my life, my husband, my kids, but something was off in me, and I knew health and fitness was a part of my life growing up. I was a cheerleader, and I thought, maybe I just need to move my body. I don't know. I was unhappy with a lot of things personally. And so my 3rd baby was like 6 months old, and Zach and I said, let's start running. And we started running, and it was miserable. It was awful. I have not always enjoyed exercise. And we would, one more mailbox. That's always my story. Like, if I could get to the next mailbox, okay, you made it to this one, just one more, and just not being able to breathe. And then through that journey, all of a sudden something changing in my life and my perspective. And I would sit down and read about renewing my mind. And I thought, okay, I can do this. If I'm going to beat myself up while I'm running, then who else is going to help me? I've got to cheer myself on. So all of a sudden this mindset began to change. The way as a mother changed, the way I was a wife changed, the way I saw myself. And that was through fitness. And so I began to go to the gym, which was so intimidating. Thank God I had a trainer. I hired a girl at the time just to write me a plan. I couldn't afford for her to do it with me, but she just wrote me a 4 to 5 week plan. Jenna Nichols, she's actually one of my instructors now. And so I began to do that. I had some girls start meeting me at the gym, and I would just started writing there. I'd be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And one of the girls said, listen, you've got to do this for other people. Women need something. We don't want to come to the gym. We don't know what to do. And so that need that I saw within myself, that I pushed myself to meet, I began seeing it in other women. And through lots of prayer and through just deciding to jump out there, I thought, okay, I'll put a Facebook group up. And I started a Facebook group, and I named it Break It Down Boot Camp. It was breaking down walls spiritually and physically was kind of my goal, because I knew a big part of it was physical, but mentally was was huge. It was a game changer. And so I started studying for my certifications. And in the meantime, I offered this free boot camp in our kids' space at our church. And the first day I was so nervous, felt so inadequate, posted it out there, meet Monday morning, 5:30, we're going to have a total body workout. And I wrote this workout and 35 women showed up, and it blew my mind. And I was like, you're right. There's a huge need for that in our town. So that's what I did for the next 6 years. We met Monday, Wednesday, Friday in our kids' building just to work out together. And about 6 years in, I began realizing something else needs to change. I had a couple more kids by then, and I had a little more time, and I didn't know, something was just uneasy in my spirit. And I told Zach, about 5 years ago, I went to a spin class in Costa Rica, of all places. And this girl was 9 months pregnant. And I was like, this is going to be miserable. She's pregnant and probably can't like work out very hard. And this bike's uncomfortable. But I did it anyway, because that was all that was offered. And she kicked my butt. And I had the most fun. And I thought, one day I am offering spin in Ada, Oklahoma. And so I told Zach, I said, I think it's time. I think it's time that we expand. And I had this itch to reach more women. I wanted to reach the masses, because it's not just about abs or biceps. There's so much more to it. Yes, that's a great byproduct, or, you know, it's a side blessing benefit of it, but there's so much more to it. And so he said, okay, let's do it. So I like to move fast and furious. I'm a procrastinator. I do things last minute. And so we took out $15,000 line of credit. I knew I wanted to take some kind of risk, but not a huge one, because at the time I had a good, boot camps would start with, 30 people at the beginning of the month, but by the end of the month you had your solid 15 girls. And so I thought 15 girls, they're incredible. And they followed me so far for so long, but that's not going to cut it with rent and all the things that go into having overhead. And so I was really nervous. So we took out 15,000, and I am a really thrifty person. So I found some used bikes that would work. And I thought, nobody in Ada's done spin, so they're not going to know if they're used or not. I just kind of played off of what I know to do when I shop. So I did the same thing in my business. And that's how we started Ignite. We found a location right above Kara's Kids. This February was 1 year that the studio's been open. So right at, a year and a half now that we've been open. And the space was 1,000 square feet. We shoved ourselves in there and we started spin classes. I knew I couldn't do it myself. As many women as I wanted to reach, I knew that my hands couldn't reach that far. And so I found 2 girls who had come to boot camp and who would just cheer these women on, women they didn't know. They would just loudly, like, you've got this. And I thought, I think they'd be great instructors. And they had fitness backgrounds. So I went to them and said, what do you think? And they were on board, and they got their certifications, and we started practicing. And we opened up, I went from Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. To 7 classes a day almost. It was a big leap, especially having the, busyness at home that I have. It was a big leap, but my family knew, like, I'm going to be gone for a little bit, and it's only going to be a season. Anyways, so let's see, business description. Yeah. So what we did is, I got a POS system, which was one of the priciest things at the, we had turned on all of our electricity and the rent and all that stuff. And then I knew I needed a system. And that was something we went back and forth on, because I'm like, well, should I try it without this? Because we had to sign a contract. Should I try it just with myself? Doing, filling classes and calling people. And we just decided to jump in, and I am so thankful. It's a reservation system. It's our POS system, and it just moves people in and out of wait lists, and it auto emails people. Like, I am not a business person, and I'm learning along the way. When like the bank asked me for a profit and loss or P&L, I was like, what's that? Or a balance sheet. I mean, I have no idea. So I'm learning. And after a year, I became a big girl and hired a CPA, and, things that I'm just learning along the way, how to be a business person. I just wanted to do what I love, to teach women, to help them move their bodies and renew their minds. And along with that, if you want a successful business, comes responsibility and, doing some big things. And so I'm learning those things along the way. Our marketing strategy has purely been social media up to this point. We have at the beginning, I don't know if Phyllis is still on here, but Hillary Griffin is local in our community, and she is a social media mastermind. I started meeting with her. I couldn't afford to have her do, manage my social media, but I met with her once a month, and we would sit down and she would say, okay, what are your goals this month? What are some things you want to roll out, like especially for a grand opening? And so she would hit these points, like, this is what you're going to post every other day, and in between that, this is what you're going to do. So she would give me the topics, and then I would come up with the content and the pictures. And it was really nice to just have today's Monday, I need to come up with a picture for this, and something about the HIIT workouts or the core workouts or whatever. And so I would go post. It made it a lot easier for me. She taught me the value of stories, and using stories and your actual posts and highlights and things that I was clueless to. So that was a huge help. Hit her up. She's local, and she's incredible. And then now I have a girl who is actually on staff. She's an instructor, and her name is Jaylee Harpole. She works at East Central, and she is incredible. And she just helps me with everything. And she'll say, that doesn't look good. No, you need to add this. I just have a really great team behind me helping me with that still. Wix is the website we used. Again, I reached out to people that design websites, and it was crazy expensive. And with all the equipment that comes with a studio, that $15,000, I couldn't spend it on that stuff that seemed less important to me. So I got on Wix and purchased, I think it's like $16 a year or something. And I just created the website. It's ignitefitness.co. And it's real easy. It was easy to add in, kind of like a template. Another marketing strategy, my clients may not like to hear this, but is a wait list. We really use that to our advantage, not to keep people out of classes, but it would be easy for us to just open up more classes and get everybody in all at once, because I've got so many instructors now. But there's beauty in that wait list. And so that's definitely a strategy I've learned to use, not to hold people off too long, but to, like yesterday, we made a post, like, waitlisters, we see you, we want them to fill seats. And so we added 3 more pieces of equipment in a class, which opens up 9 more spots. Anyways, so we try to use those type of things in-house also to keep our clients happy. And then also, you want what you can't have, as bad as that sounds. I was talking to Dia yesterday, and I'm like, it took me so long to feel okay with even charging somebody, because I'm like, this is a gift, this is a calling in my life that I know I have to offer to women. And so how do I go and charge you? Like, I should just do it free, which is a beautiful thing unless you want to build a business and reach many people. And so I've had to learn to be okay with that. I've also had to learn with using those wait lists and things like that to grow the business, because I want it to be long-term. I don't want to just be here for a year. I'd love my daughter to grow up and become an instructor and take it over one day. I mean, I think that would be incredible. My team, we started with 3 of us, like I said. Now we are to 15 of us. That includes 11 instructors, 2 child care workers, and our front desk. We have 2 front desk ladies. I completely forgot, I'll hurry. So right when, in January, we purchased a building on Main Street, which I was so excited about. Like I said, we started in 1,000 square feet at Kara's. She was an incredible landlord, just wonderful. And then we purchased a 5,500 square foot building that completely had to be gutted wall to wall. And that was from our $15,000 line of credit to buying a building and having to renovate the whole thing was very scary. But we did it. We did use an SBA loan for the renovation. Citizens has helped us with so much. So then March hit and we had to close our doors, and I was like, oh great, we're closing and we're renovating all at the same time. It was scary, but we did it. We switched gears completely. We went all online, like within a day. I leased out all my bikes to where we could still pay all of our bills. And in those moments, I panicked for other people. I thought, thank God I have a resource to lease out, to pay my electric and pay my rent. The families that's your only source. I could choose to feed my kids or pay my rent, and some, anyways, that's a whole nother tangent. But those families that it's just, this pandemic has been rough. I can't imagine being a family that would have to choose. So My team we're all clients. That's one thing I love about Ignite is the community that the women have created is just, it's intense. They love hard. They're like family. They take care of each other when someone's hurt or sick, or they send flowers. It's incredible. And so I'll look out and see somebody in a class and that girl's got it. Or they'll reach out to me and they get certified and we do training, and a lot of them have fitness backgrounds. So they reach out and say, listen, I love what you're doing. I'd love to be a part of it. So that's kind of how we've grown. They also know the heartbeat and the vision behind Ignite because they started as a client. And so they feel what it's done for them on the other side. And so it's such a blessing to be able to give that back. So I love that part of it as well. Last thing, future goals. I have a long list of goals that are going to take me a while, or a long list of to-do list. 3 of them really specifically would be kids. I have 5 of my own, and so keeping them moving is very important, and teaching them that food is not the enemy and that exercise is not torture. It's so much fun. We do most things at Ignite to the beat of music. And so teaching them that and keeping them moving and being able to offer that to kids in our community. We've done some really cool private classes for the East Central basketball team, or for the Ada. I did a boot camp for the Ada softball girls, and the little Cougans, and anyways, which is some of the most fun. But I'd like to offer that on a more regular basis eventually. And then also, I'm going to be careful how I say this. The older generation, not old people, older than myself, women that, we have some men, we have about 5 guys that are regulars, but the majority of our clientele are women. And then the men are the ones who their wives drag them there. And so there are women in this community. There's a good group of women. I would say this is why they're not old. They're in their 50s and 60s. They are older than myself, but they are ready to go. They need to move their bodies. They want to, but walking into a gym not knowing what to do is really, it's intimidating. And then 2, also, they want the community, not just a personal trainer. There's something missing with them, and I want to be able to reach them, and that's something that I want to specifically target. I don't know exactly how. And then once I can target them, then I can get their mothers, the women in their 80s moving somehow. We're not just all crazy and young and fast paced. We have more to offer than that, and I really want to show them that. And then nutrition needs. If you're moving your body, you can waste an exercise real quick in the kitchen. And I want to teach people that food is not the enemy, that it is absolutely fuel. But that's something that I don't have an expertise in. And it's just time consuming to be able to add that as another layer of Ignite, because there are women that need that. They don't know. It's amazing how much people don't know about food. So that's that. I just want to lead women in freedom. There's something beautiful when a group of people get together in a room that's dark or bright with loud music, and we're moving to the beat of the same music, and our bodies are moving, and the endorphins that God gave us are flowing, and things break. It's really fun.
All right, we're gonna jump quickly into Q&A. We have some in the comments. First one was from Trevor. Is there anything else that you're currently needing from your ADA partners to help with your business?
I was thinking about that too. And along with Phyllis, I would love a good intern. There's a lot. I think it would be fun for someone who's in the fitness or who wants to go into the fitness industry to come in and learn some things, but also there's a lot that I could have help with that would also be a learning process for them, like our system. There's a lot of work, things that you do with that, whether it be selling things or working through wait lists or running reports and things like that, the behind the scenes things that aren't so much fun. Just in-house stuff. There's towels, there's just a lot. So an intern would be awesome. I would love to offer that to somebody, but as well as it would help me out. And then just sharing social media. I don't know, other than social media, it's worked really well for us. Word of mouth is huge. So I think those 2 things, unless you guys could offer some advice on other ways, we don't sell, like I was thinking through, like if I was sold clothes but we don't, it's very specialized. And so send your wives, all of you guys, send your wives. That would help me, and it would help them, and it would help you.
And we had another comment from Kyle saying partnering with Phyllis on meal prep. And I see that commented back. And on that note, I was also thinking that at the Irving Center, they have some population with senior living, and that might be another collaboration, or they may not be on social media. So that may be a different way to reach out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good idea. We've got some girls, like a girl that is certified in that kind of like chair yoga and things that they can move their bodies. They can use 3-pound weights that older, the 80s and 90s, they need to be moving, and it'll make them feel better. And I think sometimes from the outside looking in, Ignite's like, hi, I mean, we love music and loud, but we've got bar, which is low intensity. It's hard. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. But it's low intensity, low impact. We offer a lot, but reaching them, I think, would be my next goal. Like, what is the best way to market them and say, listen, we're not just a bunch of young, crazy girls. We have a good base of clientele of what ladies that are in their 50s and 60s, even 70s. But their friends always say, no, I can't, no, I can't do all that, and they really can. It's just marketing them and getting them in there through the door. I think just once or twice, and they'd be good to go.
Another question from Trevor was, we know you're marketing more towards women, but are men allowed in your gym?
Yes, they are allowed. We're kind of mean to them. I'm just kidding. Yes, we have about 5 regular members. We don't really call them members, but we have 5, yes, that are regular, one being my husband. Most of their wives are regular members as well. They are allowed in spin. And then we have burn. It's called burn. It's a HIIT, high intensity interval training, which is what they mostly come to. We do pull-ups and push-ups and box jumps and battle ropes and all of the high intensity stuff. It's one of my favorites, but most of them come. They're 5:30 a.m. guys. They usually take the same classes. They can also take like Restore, which is our spin on yoga. What else can they take? A core, like our ab classes, but we like to keep them out of Sculpt, which is our resistance training. Just some classes. We really want to stay specific to women. I know for me, with my personal workout journey, I didn't want to go to the gym with a bunch of guys. It was uncomfortable for me. I didn't want to partner with a guy. I'm married. I wanted to keep it very much me and the girls. And I think that there's still some women that appreciate that. And I very much want to keep some of our classes that way. But yes, we have some that are co-ed.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So you told that exercise shouldn't be a torture and food you're not enemy. Can you a little bit elaborate how did you move to fitness as a challenge and how do you teach it? Because everybody is suffering, yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, it was torture when I first started running. It was really hard. I felt like my lungs would cramp up and my back would hurt and my hips would hurt and my knees would hurt. It was just, I couldn't breathe. And the biggest thing was right here in my own head. You can't do this. Gosh, this is so hard. And then therefore my body listened to my mind. So for me personally, it was this constant renewing of my mind. I am a very much believer in scripture and faith, and my life verse is Romans 12:2. It's be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I took that as physically as well. How am I going to be transformed physically? By the renewing of my mind in all areas. And so I had to do that. And that's what I want to teach. That's what we teach there, the women, that if you already have an enemy hot on your tail, so why are you assisting him? Why are you telling yourself you can't? And so whether you believe it or not, you've got to start thinking it and saying it, and then your body will follow suit. You may be like, I'm sprinting as fast as I can, and your body may be moving slow, but eventually your body will follow suit to what you believe about yourself. That is the truth. It is the truth across the board. And we're seeing it day in and day out with women being transformed that way. So that, first of all, would be a personal challenge. I would say you've got to be your own cheerleader in your head. Trash any other thoughts. When you look in the mirror, you cannot. We beat ourselves up. Women are the worst about critiquing every part of our body. You can't do that. You've got to, I used to have affirmations I would have the girls say. It was just like this little paragraph of I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I'm going to go out today. And I would get texts, I can't get through the first sentence yet without crying, but I'm getting there. And then they'd be like, I got through half of it. I mean, that's a problem when we can't even look at ourselves in the mirror and say good things about ourselves. And so that would be the first thing. And the second thing I would say for us, what we try to do is we have so much fun. If you've ever been to Ignite, or anyone that ever been, we play the music loud. Spin is very much to the beat of the music. It's like a party on a bike. I always say all the moms like it because we can't go to the club anymore, but it feels kind of like the club. Feel clean version of the club. It's very fun. We hoot and holler. We cheer each other on. There are women of all shapes and sizes, and we are yelling at each other and cheering each other on. It's just, I think that what has happened is we've taken what seems so grueling, and yes, it hurts while you're doing it, but when you're doing it with a group of people that are laughing and having fun and the music's loud, it makes you look forward to it. And you've got to keep exercise fun. If it's grueling, you're not going to do it. So if you hate running, don't be a runner. You know, I pushed myself through.
Callie, I don't mean to cut you short.
Listen, I'm winded.
No, you're fine.
Especially when we talk about stuff like that.
Really encourage you to follow their social media, get in touch with them. They are always available for more questions. So can we please have an applause for Callie? Thank you. Awesome. So now we are going to do the quick quiz for your Arbuckle gift cards. And we're going to do 2 questions. And how this is going to work is that I'm going to say the question out loud and put it on the chat. And whoever puts the correct answer first gets to win. Okay, so are you all ready? Okay, the first question is, what is one of the more popular dishes at Phyllis? Kyle got that. Mahi Mahi tacos. Great job, Kyle. Wow, everybody got it, but Kyle got it first. So you win a $10 Arbuckle gift card. All right, we have one more chance. So put your fingers on the keyboard. Okay, the second question is, what was the name of the boot camp Callie had prior to Ignite Fitness? Claudio, good job. Awesome. So I will send an email to you guys with the gift cards, and we are just about to hit 9. So I am going to share our special announcement that I promised at the beginning. Can everybody see my screen? Yes? Okay, so we are bringing back the virtual ADA bootcamp, and this year it will be in a virtual format. Well, I said virtual. Last year it was not virtual. This year it will be, because there's some, we don't know how it's gonna look. And for those who don't know what this is a 6-week cohort-based boot camp where we meet every Tuesday for a few hours to go over important topics. We start with customer discovery to financing, marketing, how to get your pitch ready. You just heard 2 awesome pitches, so how to get that ready. And with that, we wrap up with demo day and an opportunity to compete in the Big Pitch ADA. So applications are opening August 24th. If you have any questions, please just let us know. This is just a great opportunity for anybody who has a business idea to really take it to the next step. And we hope you can take availability of this opportunity. So with that, we are done for today. Thank you all so much for joining. I will keep the call on if there's any follow-up questions. Big shout out to your speakers again and participants, and we look forward to you next month. Seems like everyone's wrapping up. All right, guys.